Hi there, thanks for coming to this 5-minute class. I'm Jennifer Croft and I'll be teaching you how to calculate break-even. If you like this class, we have a bunch of other classes and resources available at www.5minuteclasses.com. So first of all, let's talk about what is break-even. What is the definition of it? So break-even is the point at which your revenue equals your expenses. That's the exact point of break-even. If you're able to have your revenue exceed how much you spend, in other words, how much you bring in is more than what you spend, you'll make a profit. And if what you bring in is less than what you spend, you'll incur a loss. So to calculate break even, you're going to need quite a bit of information. So if you're forecasting this and trying to project when this will happen, you need to first sit down and forecast your sales revenues. You then also need to forecast how much your cost of goods will be, and cost of goods is the amount that it costs you to produce or procure your products or your services. So how much will you spend on that? And then from that you'll have gross profit. And so sales minus cost of goods is gross profit. So you'll need to know that. And from that gross profit amount, you'll then subtract your monthly overhead expenses. These are also sometimes referred to as fixed costs, and this is your rent, your employees, your vehicles, etc. So once you take your gross profit and you subtract your monthly overhead, this will give you a net profit or loss if for some reason again your expenses exceed your revenue. So there are three types of break even for a small business, and the first one is that you're able to break even without a salary. So you're not taking any money out of the business, but you're also not putting any money into the business anymore either. The business is self-sufficient, it's paying its own expenses. But we call it self-employment for a reason. This isn't self-volunteerism. We want to make a salary. So the next great point to hit would be that you're able to break even and pay yourself a consistent salary, even if that's a minimal salary. And then ideally we're trying to reach break even and allow you to take out a good salary on a consistent basis. So it's important that you get to break even as soon as possible if you're starting a brand new business. And to do that, these are some suggestions. So first of all, I think it helps if you'll limit the number of products or services you offer. So really keep the business simple in the beginning. It's also important to keep your target market narrow, and the target market is the customers or the clients who are the most likely to buy from you. And even though this sounds counterintuitive that you would keep it narrow, in my experience, small business owners are more successful if they're more focused on who they're selling to. You'll also want to, from day one, test and track all of your marketing so that as soon as possible you can eliminate the types of marketing that aren't working. Marketing tends to be a really big expense in brand new businesses, and so if you're able to reduce that expense, you'll get to break even faster. The other thing that I would strongly advise is that you don't expand or scale up until you've had some success. So maybe don't take on an office space right away. Don't open a second location until you're breaking even with the first location. Don't bring on 4 more products or services when your first 3 aren't breaking even, etc. And also, this happened to me personally. I did this for years, is I had employees and I wasn't paying myself on a regular basis, and I think that's a really bad habit to get into. So I'm going to advise you that you want to pay yourself first and regularly before you consider bringing on other people. Now, what if you have an existing business and you've been around for a while, but for some reason you're not breaking even? I would say that something is probably wrong with the business model itself, and you need to attack that from either one or all 4 of these perspectives. And you need to bring it, basically you need to bring in more money and spend less. And so the 2 ways to bring in more money is to either raise prices on your existing products and services or sell more of them. Your pricing is appropriate, but you simply aren't doing enough volume, so you'll need to sell more. Or you can tackle this problem of not breaking even by decreasing your expenses, either lowering your cost of goods and or lowering your monthly overhead. So here are some next steps you can take that relate to this class on how to calculate break even. And here's some great worksheets that'll help you gather the information that you need. And we also have a free newsletter that you can sign up for so that you can keep learning. So thanks for coming to this class and best of luck with your business.